All right, this video is for the lesson 10.2 homework. We're going to do the surface area of triangular prisms today. The nice thing about these is there's no question about what the base is. The base is always the triangles in these, okay? So vocab, what's the name of the measurement attribute that describes the number of square units a figure or a region covers? That's just the area. And then number 2, what is the name of, same vocab word. One of these is supposed to be total surface area. I didn't get the words changed, so don't worry. Don't worry about that one. Okay. Same formula that we used yesterday. Lateral surface area, which is just the sides, is perimeter times height. The P this time is going to be the perimeter of the triangle. Okay? So if you want to make a little note in there, like put a little triangle there so you remember, that's okay. Total surface area, perimeter times height, plus 2 times big B. Same thing, perimeter of the triangle, big B is going to be the area of the triangle. So area of a triangle is 1/2 little b h. That's the difference today as those formulas start switching up on us. We're going to do the same thing though that we did yesterday. With triangular prisms, it's easier if you pick out the height of the entire figure. So on number 3, what's the height of the entire figure? 10. So that's our height, okay? We're not going to use that. Once we use that for that height, we're not going to use it for the perimeter or the area of the base, okay? So for the perimeter, find your triangle, okay? And you're going to add all 3 sides. 3 plus 6 plus 4. And that's going to give us 13. So there's the other value we need. And then big B again is 1/2 little b h. So on the triangle, okay, a triangle like this that's not a right triangle, the height for this one is always the measurement that's inside the triangle for non-right triangles. And then the base, so see where that little right angle is? That's telling you that that side and that side are perpendicular. It's the perpendicular side. That's kind of how you know in those triangles which one, what am I using? So area of the base here is going to be 1/2 of 6 times 2, which would just be 6. Again, if you've got those 3 pieces for me, it's easy for me to look really quick and go, oh, here's where you messed up. So lateral surface area, perimeter times height. Perimeter is 13. Height is 10. 13 times 10 is going to be 130, and it would be feet squared. Total surface area, pH plus 2 times big B. Again, you can just take this and plug it in for the pH if you want. That's completely acceptable. If you like putting all the pieces in, that's okay too. Big B is a 6. So 2 times 6 is 12. 130 plus 12 is 142 feet squared. And you can type all that in your calculator. Let's switch it up. Let's do number 4 because this one is a right triangle. That's why I want to do number 4. Yeah, I want to do number 4. These are decimals, but you do them the same way. No crazy fractions, nothing like that, okay? You don't have to round anything off. Whatever your calculator gives you, that's your answer on those. All right, so number 4. What's my height on number 4? 12. Okay, so we use that number. We're not going to use it again. Perimeter. Okay, find your triangle. 6 plus 8 plus 10. 6 plus 8 plus 10 is going to give me 24. And then big B half little bh. Okay, so here's why I wanted to do this one. What are the two numbers I'm going to plug in for b and h here? 8 and 6. So again, find that right angle, and it's the two sides that make that right angle. Don't use the hypotenuse. So that's the difference with these. Normally when we find area of a triangle, they're not going to give you that measurement most of the time. But because we need it for the perimeter, just make sure that you're using the two the two values that you need. So 6, sorry that's hard to see, and an 8. Half of 8 is 4, 6 times 4 is 24. Again, you can type all that into your calculator. All right, lateral surface area, perimeter times height. So perimeter is 24, height is 12. So 24 times 12 gives me 288. And that's going to be inches squared. Total surface area, pH plus 2 big B. Use this amount, add the 2b to it, whatever. Again, methods don't bother me. Big B is 24. My brain told me that I did that wrong, but that is kind of crazy that the perimeter and the area are the same. But that happens. So this one is 336 inches squared. What they like to do with these is make you go all the way back to stuff we did in Unit 4, all the way back in October. If you look at number 7, you're missing this piece of the triangle of the base. But we can find that because we know Pythagorean. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So looking at just this triangle here, which side is the hypotenuse? Which side is the C? The 13. So, and again, the other two, it doesn't matter which one's A and which one you use for B. So again, sorry that's kind of tiny in there. All right, so when we're working this, I'll write it bigger for you. A squared plus 12 squared plus 13 squared. Simplify your radicals first, or your exponents first. So I got a squared plus 144. That should be an equal sign. 13 squared is 169. All right, what's the first thing I do to solve this thing? All right, so we get a squared, this cancels, equals 25. Now what do we do? Square root both sides. These will come out. You won't get gross answers on these. You shouldn't. Okay? So A equals 5. So that's what they like to do on these. They like to make you work for your numbers. You got to do all that before you can even start. So on number 7, perimeter, 5 plus 12 plus 13 is 30. Here's my height. Height's going to be 15. And then big B is going to be half. All right, what two measurements do I need to use for the area? Which ones? 5 and 12. The two that make that right angle. So 5 times 12, half of 12 is 6. 6 times 5, big B is 30. So I literally can't do anything until I find that measurement. All right, lateral surface area, perimeter times height. 30 times 15 gives me 450. Total surface area, perimeter times height, plus 2 times big B. So 30 times 15 plus 2. Big B's 30. Another one where we had that repeat happen. Oh. All right. And that one's going to be 510 yards squared. All right, in both these at the bottom, all you gotta do is find the height. I'm gonna work the tougher one. This one is just 600 equals perimeter times height. Find the perimeter of the triangle, plug it in for P. Okay? This one though, we gotta find the perimeter and we gotta find the area of the base because it's total surface area. So perimeter of the base, we got 16, 17, and 17. So we're going to add those together. 16 plus 17 plus 17. 50. All right, on this one right here, what two measurements are we going to use to find the area of the base? 15 and 16. So half of 15 times 16. Big B is 120. All right, now we can set up our equations. So total surface area equals perimeter times height plus 2 times big B. So we know the total surface area. Perimeter is 50. Height is what we're looking for. Big B is 120. All right. To solve this, first thing I need to do is simplify that down. 2 times 120, 240. Okay, what's my next step? Yep, subtract 240 from both sides. So subtract 240 from both sides. And we get 1,000 equals, ooh, there should be an H there. 50H. What's the last step? Divide both sides by 50. H equals 20. All right, so I left you 4. Kind of move this where I'll zoom out a little bit where you can see the rest of it.